54.
On first down, it's Watson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Used to have a coach who tells us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Here's Watson. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Watson looks to throw again. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Again, it's Watson. And that is incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 20. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Now Breeze on third down. And Ginn's got it. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's a 3-yard touchdown run, and the Saints have taken the early lead. Luck's good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 15. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Watson now to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Breeze now. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
His 13th NFL season now, Ted Ginn, still a reliable target for Drew Brees. 787 yards in 2017, just 5 games last year due to injuries, but he still has the wheels.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Come on, one thing for sure. You know that Michael Thomas is going to be the target on a 3rd down pass, and Drew Brees finds him and keeps this drive moving.
Hey, exit.
In your face.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brees. And this will be incomplete. Physical play.
Outlet man, because of the coverage, is way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
41, Mike.
Bravo.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Now Breeze again. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll toss it to Miller. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Good set. UAT. Check 47. Play alert. Check 99.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara's got the 1st down and then some. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's ready.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me. You'll kill. 55 is my guy. 55.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy.
Hey, Alpha.
What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. Here we go.
Check, check. Lucky.
To throw, it's Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Breeze to throw. And he hits his man, Matthews. And he's taken down inside the 30. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
You ready? Let him. 82's moving. 82's moving. But
into the red zone, it's Breeze. He's got Smith here. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
To throw is Breeze. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
This not the final game of this opening weekend. Still one more, and that comes your way later tonight out in Oakland. The Denver Broncos and Vic Fangio's coaching debut taking on the Oakland Raiders, the final home opener for the Silver and Black in the East Bay. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. First and 10.
56 right there, 56.
no time now.
From the 50, it's Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Fighting to stay upright. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Brings up 4th down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
We know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On third down, Watson dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
The Saints take over.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
That's good for a Saints.
Ready. Yellow ladies.
First and 10.
Got him killed.
44-yard line.
Hey, Haywood.
On first down, Breeze. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Go. Ready.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Saints add on to their lead.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27.
Makes the score Saints 27, Texans nothing.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touch. Try to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Brees going to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Rashard Matthews the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Ready? 5-8, 5-8.
Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
Now Brees. Left side, caught by Matthews.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Ready?
Brees now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10.
Opposite.
Again, they'll throw with Brees. Flushed out, and a big loss here as he's taken down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll come out in the pistol. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Lutz puts this one through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Yeah, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we are at halftime in the first of 2 here on this opening Monday night of 2019. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
That's it, baby. We're going to work. Ready.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Check 52.
They start the second half with Kamara, and they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On the ground, Kamara, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 36-yard line.
Yellow lady, yellow lady. Hey, eat. Come off the ball.
From the gun, it's Breeze. It's brought in right side by Ginn. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Good. Line 4, ready.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Murray. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. This is Murray. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they're leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with now 3 week 1 touchdowns. And the Saints just continue to roll. Lutz with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A run by Foreman to start the drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. The end result, 21 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Right at the 40. A shotgun snap for Watson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go.
56, Mike.
31.
56. Yeah, that's what I do.
49, check 49, check 49.
Hey, we got time.
Again, it's Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Hey, it's our house.
Here we go on 4th. Watson, and down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 42. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
11. 53 seconds.
Throwing now is Breeze. And Austin Safarian-Jenkins has it. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Go on. Come on, D.
A busy night continues for Kamara. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 32 yards. And the Saints are pouring it on. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson caught left side, Hopkins. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
Double up. He's coming, double up.
54 is down, he's coming.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Watson hands this to Foreman, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. 4th down now after a loss of 2. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this, let's try to get it in the end zone?
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get into that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara 58 yards. And the Saints just continue to roll. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now. In this position, trying to get back into the... Teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That's going to leave them with just... One remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Ready. 10 Lobo. Recon, 132.5, hit it.
Now the backup, A.J. McCarron. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Cameron Jordan able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Thomas, the intended target. And now it's third down. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, they seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout. But, hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Again, this is Kamara. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That burst good for 20 and a first down. But you said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage.
And Kamara has it stripped, and the Texans scoop it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know All blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in a running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. They go play action here on first down. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter.
Here we go. Man left, man left.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5.
We're good. Line 4, ready. Smooth.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10.
Shift. 21. Hey. High 7.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Cook. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half.
On the ready.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
Now it's McCarron off play action. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan bringing the pressure yet again. That's his third sack here tonight.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Third and long. It's Watson. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here's Watson. Now a desperation throw deep. He's got a man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Watson. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be